Go!
So, Tansley, when you tackled this today as a tune-up for the Detroit Marathon, tell us how you tackled it. Did you race it, or did you just sort of go out for a long, slow distance run?
It was a race for me, I would say. Steady, for sure. One foot in front of the other.
Well, it's a pretty serious distance, isn't it?
It is, yeah. You have to respect really anything over 10 miles. I think you got to be pretty respectful of that distance. So.
Where are you from?
I'm from Farmington Hills, Michigan.
Okay.
Yep, absolutely.
So this is pretty local for you.
It is, yep, absolutely. Very close, yeah.
Good. Well, congratulations, and we look forward to seeing you in Detroit and Windsor. Doug Klingensmith, race director of the Milford Labor Day 30K Relay, and 10K, not to mention the Wheel and Soul. You added a lot of events. How did it go today?
It went real well. We are raising money toward the Milford Trail, and that's how we added the Wheel and Soul. And we had over 600 in the 10K and 30K. And Wheel and Soul probably another 100 or so. So it was a nice growth over last year.
How did it affect the organization having so many extra events?
It was a little bit of a challenge, but we had a lot more volunteers, so it worked out real well.
Yeah, you had a nice smooth start with some bikers going off first, and then some runners, and then another group of bikers and skaters.
Yep, and it made it a lot of fun and exciting, and it was a beautiful day for running and biking and all the above, inline skating.
The folks we talked to mentioned hills, and they also mentioned scenery. What goes into your thinking when you design this course here?
It probably comes from being an ex-rugby player who likes pain, and I just decided to make it a challenging course, so by the time you do a marathon, it's not a big deal.
In fact, that's one of the things that people mention. Seems like quite a few people fit this into their marathon training plans, and most of them actually raced it.
Yeah, we had quite a few people come out to run and really race it. It's just a real good way to prepare for a flatter marathon.
Oh, yes, it is. Any kind of a marathon that would work, too. You had some really fast times here today, especially a couple of guys from Ann Arbor, who originally hailed from Kenya, really took the rest of the runners a little bit by surprise.
Yeah, they were just kind of last minute, but they came out and they were ready to run.
And they walked away with some checks.
Yep, they did.
Well, Doug, congratulations on just a great race today, and look forward to seeing more people out here next year.
Okay, thanks for supporting the event, and we appreciate your help.
We have here the winner of the Milford Labor Day 30K, Emmanuel Kivett, and I understand you're in Ann Arbor now. Is that right?
Yeah.
What brings you to Milford?
It was nice, and the forests, along the forests, just very nice scenery. So I decided to come and run this race. I'm training for a Toronto Marathon in Canada.
Were you surprised at how many hills there were?
Well, I can't really tell how many hills there were, but there were many, I could say. So, yeah, but I enjoyed.
You're from originally?
I come from Kenya.
And where?
In Eldoret, the really coronary of athletes, where most of the athletes in Kenya come from, is where I also come from.
One of the guys who's also local, Boaz Cheboyo, is also from there.
Yeah. Cheboyo, in fact, we come from Cheboyo. Boaz Cheboyo from Marakwet. We come together from the same place. But it was exotic. It was fantastic. I came and found him here in Michigan. So one day even going around, when I came, he came and invited me. So he received me well. And yeah.
Now, there are several of you here in Ann Arbor. Is that correct?
Yeah. For example, in my manager's place, which is Joseph Cotrington, we are 4 of us. So one of the guys ran 10 kilometers and he won. Some of 2 guys also went for a 5 mile in Ohio, who are racing there today.
Well, thank you very much for talking with us, and congratulations on running a tough race on a Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, thank you.
We have here the winner of today's 30K at the Milford Labor Day weekend races, Mary Beth Reeder. What a season you're having.
Yeah, this is a good one.
And you had a good one last week too at the Crim. So how do you have legs left for our 30K?
You know what? I don't know. I'm lucky. I have a lot of mileage, and I think like last week I run hard in the beginning of the week, and then towards the end I sort of have been tapering. And I'm preparing for a marathon, so I was thinking today, it's like, God, I got to keep going at this pace for another, 10 miles, or in my head 10 miles. So I have a ways to go to finish the marathon at a good clip. So
that's good practice because it's a race and a little bit of an incentive to keep those wheels going.
Absolutely. I mean, this is a great course. It's shady. It's it's just very beautiful, rolling, and it's a beautiful footing. So well organized. I was telling your cohort there that I got lost on the first race that they held here a few years ago. Yes, I think it was the first time I had run like 18 and a half, and I ended up getting lost. Maybe like I ran, I think, 23 miles. It was the first marathon I was preparing for, and it was like, oh my God.
So this one is a pretty good distance when you're training for a marathon. Which marathon are you going for?
Chicago this year. I think Detroit next year. I kind of alternate. Although last year I ran Chicago too. The reason I'm doing it again this year is I have a good friend who's getting married, so in Chicago. So that's kind of what happened this year. But usually I'll try to do every other one, or I usually run part of Detroit because I love coming out there and seeing everybody I know.
Now you can do the half.
Yeah, now I can. Yeah, maybe we'll see how my legs are.
Well, let's talk about your season for a little bit. You've really run a lot of races, and you've won a good many of the ones you started.
I'm trying to think. I know West Bloomfield, that I run there all the time. That's where I'm from, and that was a great course. I mean, it was the first year they had done it, and it was so well organized. I think Doug Curtis had his hand in that one, and that it's going to be well marked. I mean, it was really a challenge though, because I remember running through the path, which I don't normally do. I'm not a trail runner. I always I'm just kind of klutzy. I trip, so it's like I try to avoid trails as much as possible. But that was great. It was, it was neat. It was something for everyone. There was like, you had your fast road racing, you had the trail, and just a little like a cross country kind of at the end with the hills and stuff.
That's the one they call Rock and Road. Right?
Yes, yeah, that's the one. So that was good. So that was one of them. But normally I'm not really good at the shorter distances. I think I'm more competitive the longer it goes. So,
Ooh, well, Chicago's a tough one. You have a lot of pretty good sized international competition on that.
Well, I mean, I'm not I'm just amateur when it comes to that. But I mean, for me, I think I'm better at the longer distances. So.
Well, you've had a great season, and we look forward to seeing you finish it up with a good marathon.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you.
Into the finish line. Let's bring our 30K champion in. He's coming in at a great time. Second place finisher. These are great times on a course like this. This is Nathan Usher from Lansing, finishing third, finishing fourth in the 30K. Nicholas Stanko from Ann Arbor this morning. Congratulations, Mary Beth.
For the best in running information, go to Michigan Runners.tv.